Bitcoin needs to strike today with a daily candle closure above yesterday's high, and at the very least, over the weekend, the latest Monday, or I am going to begin to goose the odds in the favor of the bears. And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris. Here I'm going to share my views on Bitcoin technical analysis, market trends, and more broadly, what macroeconomic trends could impact Bitcoin as we trudge the road of happy destiny. Bitcoin 2025 price target somewhere between 180 to 240,000. I know there's a pretty big gap there, but you got to leave room for error. Needless to say, we are going to talk about the chart of the day here, which is actually going to be CMEs on the daily time frame, in my opinion, as we're going to have the weekly closure, and we're going to talk about the economic data coming out today, which came out today and this week. In fact, if just quickly reviewing here, core PCE inflation came out higher than expected, 2.8% month over month, higher than expected. Month over month came out even. The PCE price index year over year, higher than expected. Personal spending, higher than expected. Now, interestingly enough, Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report, which talks about basically people's inflation expectations, was down, just down slightly. I don't know, are people stupid? Inflation's not coming down here. And more notably, this is why NASDAQ is still at or near, near the all-time highs. Well, let's see how far away are we from the all-time high. Currently at, so we're 4% down from the high. Stock market did have or NASDAQ had about an 8.5% correction to the downside. S&P, let's see, 6.9%. And the Dow, which I believe had the deepest correction, no, it was NASDAQ. So the tech stocks, and pretty much everything in unison right here. Silver cross on the daily time frame with volatility below 20 is going to, Dow needs to, clear above this high. S&P needs to do the same. Well, it's already there. And NASDAQ leading the pack. So is that off the back of some of these tech earnings? I know Tesla just put out earnings, and I'm going to make a nice little video about that later today because Mr. Elon, holding on to his Bitcoin. I think his Bitcoin, $100 million he held on to after the board of directors slammed him and said, sell your Bitcoin, it's bad for the environment. Well, he kept $100 million worth, which is now worth, I think, somewhere around $700 million. Probably the best performing asset in his portfolio. In fact, we'll talk about that later. Anyways, back on to some of that economic data we're talking about here. Funding rates, we'll take a look at that as well. Funding rates, while it's here, might as well talk about it on the daily time frame. We said we are looking for those negative funding rates to get a bounce. We had that a few days ago, but fairly inconsequential. We want to see funding rates get around 0.1% to call a major macro low. Seeing back here when Bitcoin took a swing down from 25 down to 20. Obviously the low here at, close to 0.1% when Bitcoin came down to about 15,000, marking the kind of macro low there, and 0.12% here when Bitcoin fell from 60,000 down to 30. And then this low lastly, 0.2%, very aggressive there. I believe that was the coronavirus dump from $10,000 to $3,000. Anyways, funding rates going negative has marked off some of the last prior lows. You can see the low here, low here, low here. So, is that the low for this cycle? Well, a few things to bring up on the board here today. Chart of the day. We are talking about Bitcoin on the daily, in a range, and just following up on the last video, the halving just happened. When's the next halving? Interesting, on this nice hash site, you can see all the major coins that are having halvings coming up. Next one for Ethereum Classic coming up May 31st, Dash July 10th, Flux in August, and Zcash November, Vertcoin November, January RVN, Ravencoin, Handshake Coin. I don't know what that one is. Litecoin is October 2027. Bitcoin now has 3 years, 327 days till the next halving. So the halving just happened a few days ago. I think it was April 19th. And just reiterating what we could be in for after that halving date. Well, looking back at the last prior halvings, right? I should, I guess, move this up to the 19th. April 19. So our kind of thesis is that bull market starts 12 months before the halving. It's a buy the rumor, sell the news event. Close enough is close enough there. We had May 11th, the 2020 halving, and this range consolidation lasted for, 100 and, really, actually, I would take that back. 72 days, right, until we had a breakout. Although we did breakout and retest, right, 72 days. So I'm going to shorten this up here. Shorten it up just slightly. And actually, I am going to write down, put a little text here, 72 days. 72 days of consolidation. And let's take it back to the prior halving here. July 2016. July 9th, 2016. How long did this consolidation period last? Well, that was 158 days. Let's hope and pray for that. Not actually, in general, that would be healthier for the market, guys. I know you don't want to hear that, but 158 days there of consolidation before we broke out and started making new all-time highs. And again, breakout with a retest. So, no, just food for thought there. And then this one here, we're talking about, let's get a little more accurate here. 45 days. Close enough is close enough here. 45 days for a bit of a breakout. Hey, and make sure you guys, if you do enjoy some of the content, hit that like button. Like and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, if you've been here for some time, welcome back. And thanks for hanging in with us over the last few years. So I'm going to get back to the chart of the day, which I do believe is going to be the CMEs here, and throwing it up on the daily time frame. We are going to have a weekly closure here, and I would say this is if we can't, the week is going to close here in 2 hours, 31 minutes, and we will roll over if Bitcoin does close below 63,657. So any kind of a daily closure back below yesterday's low, goose the odds in the favor of the bears. That would flip momentum back to the downside. Vice versa, just ticking above yesterday's high. I'm going to goose the odds back in favor of the bulls. That's that. But yeah, daily downtrend. Don't fight the daily downtrend. Let's go over the bear case and the bull case here. The bear case, daily downtrend, and on the 5-day time frame, we did mark this out and talk about this, those 5 drives of bearish divergence. What is bearish divergence? Well, when price is making higher highs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 higher highs. That typically does get you a move back to the bottom of the range, if not the mid-range, which is what we've marked off here is the 0.5 and the 618 from the low to the high. Let's see if that is correct. Yep. that is where the traps come in. And, in bullish trending markets, you tend to see a strong bounce off the 382 and it never goes back. Traps happen at the 0.5 of the 618. And that bearish divergence is the bear case. Okay. And here's how to note if, more downside is to come. And I think spot price will give it away there. But another thing I wanted to give credit to Mr. Crown on this one, which I thought this was pretty interesting. What he had mentioned is as the stochastic leaves the critical zone, which would be here. To be fair, this isn't 100% accurate. Here. But as the momentum indicator on CMEs has left the critical zone, and I might have to adjust these just slightly, almost every single time, it has marked off the lows, right? So the bull case, and this is, kind of odd because when momentum flips down, right, you'd expect price to go down. I think that is enough. So coming from a high level, as we have left the critical zone, this essentially has marked off the lows, going back to the dawn of time on the CMEs. So this one I would consider a failure as price did bleed on out. This one you could perhaps call a low. Well, definitely it was a low. And I'm going to get rid of some of this volume and make it a little easier to see here. Bear with me. Here we go. So as the stochastic left the critical zone here, boom, marked off a huge low. Could you call this the low? Or I would maybe move it over one more strike there, but definitely called the low there. This was a failure. So call it, could you call that a low? It was a low, to be fair, but it just got faded. 32% bounce. Not bad. Could you call that a low? Yeah, definitely marked a low here. And I'm actually going to put a horizontal in here. So where is this low take place? Here. Boom. So just curious to see if that lines up with anything else here. So again, marks a low, marks not a low, marks a low here. Yeah, so I guess we could. So to be fair, is this going to mark off the next low? And, take it with what you will. This would be one of the bullish cases for Bitcoin as we are about to leave the critical zone. Momentum will cross up above 68,670. The week, this is the 5-day time frame. I'm not even looking at this. Excuse me. It's the same principle, though, pretty much. Same principle as we, again, noting that is a failure. This as a failure. So two failures. Two versus, one here. I'm going to mark this off. Two. Low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 5? Is that right? One failure, two failures. Two fails versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 out of 5. So 2 out of 7 iterations of this setup have resulted in a significant low being marked off for Bitcoin. Excuse me while I take a sip of the good old Celsius. Definitely a new addiction. Anyways, I'm going to get back on to my regular chart on the daily time frame and just say, hey, look, momentum is still to the upside as long as we're above 62.7. Point for the bulls. If we can close above yesterday's low, this would, be a higher low in the making and kind of goose the odds in the favor of this trade setup, which is going to get us up to about 76,000 in validation. Again, actually just a daily closure back below yesterday's low, and I would say bad. And we're not going to hit target 3 on that one at the moment, at the very least. Another way to look at this, I'm going to get rid of this and actually look at this more as a horizontal, what would you call this? A pennant formation. Let's get rid of this here. And call this the middle of the range. And just a daily closure back above there will significantly increase the odds for the bulls. Do these tend to break out to the upside? No. This is a descending triangle as it looks now. And I think the diagonals are getting less significant as this is a bit of a range as we discussed. This is the range. Here's the mid-range. And if you do line this up with the weekly time frame, that mid-range does line up nice there. We're now below the mid-range, so, are we going to test back to the bottom side of the range? A lot's going to be said here in the next day or two, but here's how you would know. Well, the thing is going to roll over is you start to see that. A break below 60,000 gains acceptance, puts in another lower high, and very likely, kind of next level down would be that 55,000 area, and then, this level here probably down at about 48. And that would say, yeah, bearish divergence is in play and is going to be valid. The other thing I want to look at is the BBWP. The Bollinger Band with percentile, which measures volatility. And we do have declining volatility. So it's not set, the setup is not for a massive move down at the moment. If you see volatility begin to expand back to the upside, that could indicate the move is going to get much greater. What we really want to see, guys, specifically the daily time frame, is we want to see volatility begin to decline, come back down. Maybe the stochastic comes back down, or just trade sideways and up, and price to stay sideways. Okay. Let me get my regular setup here. These are the indicators I like to use, which is going to be the RSI, the volume, the PMARP, the stochastic, and on the 15-minute time frame, well, we're getting a bit of a sell signal. So it does look like it does want to have one more swipe lower. Another point for the bulls here is NASDAQ. NASDAQ is poking its head up here, and this is the question, right? And it's back to the economic data. I think the Kobisi letter had a nice little tweet here, and you can see credit card debt skyrocketing, savings is going down. Okay, breaking PCE for inflation. The Fed's preferred inflation measure rises to 2.7, above the expectation at 2.6. Core PCE inflation was 2.8%, above expectations of 2.6. We now have CPI, PPI, and PCE inflation rising for 2 straight months. How can the Fed cut rates? And look, the government's reckless spending, the government has, or the Federal Reserve, which isn't federal by any means, and they have no reserves, right, has their mandate. What's the mandate? Well, Set inflation at a target of 2% rather than 0. Okay, where's the mandate? Find mandate. Congress has given the Federal Reserve monetary policy makers mandate and the independence with which to pursue it. The Fed's modern statutory mandate, as described in the 1977 amendment of the Federal Reserve Act, to promote maximum employment and stable prices. These goals are commonly referred to as the dual mandate. And if we elaborate a little bit here, unemployment lies at the root of major social problems, blah, 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 blah. Benefits of, so price stability means 2% inflation, and what percentage of jobs? Economists understand high employment is painful, blah, blah, blah. High levels of employment are key to vibrant economy, da-da-da-da. A strong labor market always tends, da-da-da-da. One key message we heard is strong labor market brings people who might be on the sidelines of the economy, but who have skills that can be developed and given a chance. Unemployment lies at all the root of our social problems. You know these guys are lying. These guys are absolutely full of BS. They have no common good here, and that's why the government is spending recklessly and wasting time banning TikTok and giving some $1 trillion aid to foreign countries when we can't even secure our own borders. Absolute garbage if you ask me. But here's the problem, is that the Fed's in a rock and a hard place, right? If they lower interest rates and stimulate the economy, because the GDP came out negative. So that's the other side of the coin here, is GDP. For those who do not understand what happened, the GDP numbers came out yesterday. Q1 2020 was at 1.6%, which is less than half of the 3.4% in Q4 of 2023. This reading is roughly 50% below Goldman Sachs expectations, but it gets worse. At the same time, U.S. core PC price index soared from 2% to a staggering 3.7%. This crushed estimates at 3.4% and further suggests that inflation is on the rise. We have a weakening economy with rising inflation, the worst possible outcome for the Fed. Also known as stagflation, in the 70s and 80s, our debt went from $300 billion with a B, to $3 trillion. Now we're spending $1 trillion roughly every quarter just to pay the interest on our debt. And to fund Joe Biden and his cronies, right? Gosh, speaking of Joe Biden, guys, speaking of Joe Biden, you got to check this out here. Where's my Tuker? Where's my Tuker? Oh, yeah, Cobra Tate. This guy is pumping the Venom token. Venom token. Anyways, that's a rumor on the street. If this guy is touting this Venom token, he's got a huge following. Let's take a look at the day. Looks pretty red. Neo's up 5%. Ethereum Classic. Maybe the Ethereum Classic halving coming up next month has something to do with it. I don't know. But what is Venom token? Venom price? Venom tokens are, let's see, what does it do? It's its own blockchain. It's supposed to compete with Solana, yada, yada. Look at the price. Looks like Mr. Tate is failing to pump the bag so far. So, I mean, we're off to a good start here just over the last, I don't know, since the low of April 25th. So maybe that's when he started pumping it. I cannot tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt there. But also wanted to talk about no, I do not consent. All right, Fear and Greed coming in at 70. So people are still relatively greedy right now. Not the best thing for bulls. I just turned $140 into $1,300 over the last 2 weeks. Yes, it's possible in the land of cryptocurrency. My name is Chris Mitchell. I am the CEO of Crypt Courses. And I'm bringing you this video because I'm going to give you some really good information on how to buy, sell, and trade digital currency. Now, you've probably heard about a lot of people making a lot of money in crypto, but you don't feel safe or intelligent enough to make the investment. That's why I created Bitcoin 101, how to stack sats using technical analysis. It's the crypto trader's dream to starting your crypto journey. It's absolutely free. All you gotta do is click on the link in the description below and we will get you your free guide today. Well, let's just say when people are fearful, right? You want to be greedy. When people are greedy, you want to be fearful. People are remaining greedy, even though Bitcoin has entered into a bit of a daily downtrend. The other case for the bulls, and I am going to touch on Tuker coin because I saw something really funny. Where is it? I bet you it's on their Twitter page, Tuker. Where is it? Is this it? Joe Rogan coin. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about the memes. Week 5 recap, is that it? April 21st?
Every weekend, I like to treat myself to some hard-earned R&R because self-care is important. And in this business, it can be all too easy to lose sight of the fact that health really is wealth. With that in mind, let's take a look back at another week here on Tuker. And tell me, how are you playing this market, Chinese sailor? Did you buy the dip, or as they're calling it in the Middle East, the hummus?
I not spinach pussy hands. Hey, I
man.
always max bidding. I buy dip and big pump and max bidding. China, big pump, China.
To ensure stability and trust, and in celebration of 10,000x followers, I will be burning the remainder of our liquidity pool, valued at over $500,000.
Hello, boss. Salam alaikum. Me today, no.
This is not the one I wanted to see. This is not the one I wanted to see. Let's go to YouTube. Let's go to YouTube. Let's get in deep and dirty. If you made it this far in the video, well, this has got to be it.
Holy shit, folks. Just when you think you've seen it all, President Biden raises the bar. After a string of recent public speaking gaffes, I think we can all agree that he makes George W. Bush sound like a fucking genius. And last night, while
I could do without the cursing,
Sleepy
Tuker.
Joe outdid himself. Let's take a look.
And that is why I pledge to continue raising capital gains to ensure the middle class stays middle class. But first I need your help. Every 4 years, we have this little thing called an erection. Now erections aren't easy, folks. They should be long and hard. That's democracy. But they really take it out of you. Just ask Joe. So for anyone who says I'm too old or that I don't have the stamina to deliver, let me just say this, determined look. I am going to give this next erection everything I've got. When I'm out on the campaign trail, tired and exhausted, you know what inspires me to achieve a huge erection result? The children. I just think of the beautiful children of this great country. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America. Wave, exit left.
Too much cursing, too much. I don't know, man. I'm going to have to give them a talk, let them know. You can still be funny without putting your mouth in the gutter. Anyways, needless to say, Tuker coin, I gotta bring it up because why? Well, it's probably going to get a massive following, and it is still very, very young in the infancy stages, as Tuker is just a $54 million market cap. And, well, it is trading in a range, and here would be the bottom of the range. And yeah, could it swipe lower one more time, maybe tag, 33? I would say they are going to defend the $50 million level, and probably going to put in a pretty meteoric bounce. And when I'm talking about a bounce here, if you get your ruler out and you measure from the low to the high here, just to get back to the top of the range, it's 77%. And then a break of the range break of the range here. Likely results in a swipe towards about 12 cents, which is more than double from where we're at today. You also see on the hourly time frame, momentum has now crossed back to the upside. Additionally, on the daily time frame, you've got, let's see, on the 4-hour time frame, several drives of hidden bullish divergence, okay? And what is that? When price is in an uptrend and price is making higher lows, so call it 1, 2, 3, and any kind of a closure back above 68, not 0.068, would confirm this as a complex low and likely does give you that shot back to the top side of the range, somewhere around 8 cents at a minimum. Okay, that's my analysis on Mr. Tucker. We don't want to see it start to gain acceptance below this level, below the 200 on the 4-hour. If you did see something like this, a break below, a lower high, that would not be what we want to see with Tucker. And unfortunately, you know, that you have to look at both sides here. And, you know, you can't just be bullish because you like something. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. If you do want to learn about what bullish and bearish divergence is, you can check out our resource center here on bitcoinadvisors.com. By the way, we help people put crypto in their retirement account. You can head on down to the bullish and bearish divergence cheat sheet right here and look at what exactly the 4-drive philosophy is. Now, if you want to get a little more in-depth look here, I recommend you sign up for Bitcoin 101, how to stack sats using technical analysis. You'll get access to the trade signals. You can still start it for free for 30 days. Just sign up, make an account, and we will begin your free 30-day trial. And you can email us. You can call us if you have any questions. All the links are in the description below. Last up, what do we have? So we went over the halving, the economic data, the dual mandate. We talked about higher inflation, lower GDP, jobs reports, and what is the Fed going to do? What is the Fed going to do? They're in a rock and a hard place. They're probably going to do nothing and let the economic data come in. And I'm going to say it again, as I've been saying it before. I don't think that we're ready to crash. I don't think we're ready to crash. The Democrats are not going to let the market crash in an election year. It's just not going to happen. Do we have the month-over-month markets, futures data? This is a new site I've been using called Coinalyze, TA Bitcoin. If you look at the month-over-month price action, month-over-month price action, I should have looked this one up before, but needless to say, you can see that typically May is a green month. May is typically a green month. Let's see if I can Google it. Monthly price chart for Bitcoin. Oh, investing.com. Viewable in daily. Let's go with monthly. This is not what I wanted. I wanted a better. So percent change. I wanted like a table. Let's see, table. Monthly price chart table. Let's see here. And by the way, guys, play it on fast forward here. I'm doing the best I can with what I have. I had quite a bit of technical difficulties this morning. I had to deal with my first download of, yeah, this is not it. This is not it. But the overall statistic is that May in an election year is typically green. And at the end of May, right, it's sell in May and go away. So let's see what happens, guys. A lot can happen in the next few hours as, again, just keeping our eyes upon. And to me, this is what it looks like, a liquidity grab before they push it higher one more time. We do need to get above this high. You know, if we can just tick above, you know, this high right here, that was yesterday's high. Coming in at 575. We can get a bounce at the end of the day. Look at the stock market, bouncing hard. S&P bouncing. S&P looks the most healthy. This looks like a potential W. All we need to do is close back above here. Next week, economic data coming out. Let's see. So stagflation, that's the worst fear for Mr. Biden and Mr. Powell. But yeah, because how are they going to cut rates if inflation is going higher and inflation gets out of control? That's against their mandate. May 1st, the 30th, the 29th is Monday. So let's see. Do we have anything on Monday? 6-month T-bills, nothing important there. The little red book, the Case-Shiller Index, nothing on Tuesday. Unemployment. That's probably going to be a big one Wednesday next week. The JOLTS numbers Wednesday next week. And the Fed interest rate decision, that's May 1st. So Wednesday next week, going to be a big decision day. GDP's down. Fed could come out and say they're going to cut rates. We will see. But again, what are people doing when Bitcoin is trading sideways like it is? And perhaps sideways for another, few weeks? They're going to go into meme coins. Why are they going to go into meme coins? Well, look at the day. Look at the year. Over the last year, Dog with Hat, Pepe the Frog, and Bonk the Dog are the #1 coins in the market. Why is that? Well, just ask yourself this question. What are you going to do to get a dopamine hit when Bitcoin's trading sideways? Are you going to go with gaming coins? Are you going to go with AI coins? Are you going to go with anything else out there? Layer 1s? TON? I don't know. If you wanted to go with a meme coin, let's just check out the #1 meme coin on TON chain is Degen on base. Meme. Book of memes, Tonfish meme. Okay, let's see. A lot of #1 meme on Ton. I think it's Dogen. Ton meme coins. Forbes. I mean, there's whole venture capital funds that are now going into meme coins. Dog with Hood, Toge, Resistance Dog. That's it. I remember now. Resistance Dog. Oh, and the symbol is redo. Here we go. Let's look at it up. Let's see what redo is doing. Is redo getting redone? No, not Moon of the Bull. Redo. Down 6% today, getting hit. And Ton just look. Whoa. Correction incoming. Where does it end? Can you short redo is the question. Can you short it? So redo is not even on TradingView. And that's what happened. Some of these newer meme coins like Tuker and redo. We got to go on Ton chain here. Redo on Ton. Is it on base? Oh, it's on ETH. It's got to be ETH. Redo on wrapped ETH. Because I don't see Ton here, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. Comment below. Let's just look at this one here. That's not it. Holy smokes. Zero market cap, liquidity. Don't touch this with the 100-foot pole, guys. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on with this coin, but redo wrap teeth. I don't know. Maybe we should check in on it next week. TON. Okay, apparently TON is not on here. This is what I like about CoinGecko is they can tell you where you can. It is redo on TON, redo/TON. Where can you buy it? Markets. Stone.fi, DDUS, Stone.fi. I don't know what those are. Again, high caution for something like this after a big pump, and now it looks like a dump. Market cap coming in at 56 million. So number one coin on TON. I wonder if you can buy it on Telegram. Remember, TON is the Telegram token. I do believe that you can buy it on TON. On Telegram, excuse me. But 56 million is the fully diluted valuation. You got 1 billion tokens. Who knows how many are in supply, but look, you got Tucker. What is the market cap? 53 million. And since we're talking about memes, I'm going to check out this one, Gummy. Just to see, I think Gummy is probably promising for future, but it looks a little bearish here. Gaining acceptance back below this level. Tried to bounce it out, just a tick below this low, and, probably going to come all the way down for the full retrace. All right, guys, with that said, I hope you have a blessed and highly favored day. We'll be back on Monday. Happy Friday, happy trading, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.